third campaign done by BBDO India. Now, their suggestion was that, changing global perception cannot be done by a single ad campaign. It needs to be a movement of sorts. And hence, you saw that entire, suggestion. That's what they were proposing. I'd like your opening comments on BBDO.
Well, I liked a couple of things in the brainstorming very much. I certainly liked them coming up with the notion that if you love yourself, the world can love you. That's true, and that was a great insight. I love the little thing about, the minus negative sign. You add I for India, you make it positive. How clever. But I'm afraid the Oprah idea made the whole thing fall flat on its face. First of all, Oprah is never going to do it, so it's academic. Secondly, the examples they gave are all wrong. I mean, Oprah did not wear a sari before the other people they showed wearing a sari. They'd all worn a sari independently and earlier. Hooking India's fortunes to Oprah's image is seriously problematic for all sorts of reasons we can go into in more detail. So if their idea is you're going to sell India by having one celebrity take on India, Oprah is not going to do it. I mean, she's got too many other fish to fry, and she would not want to compromise herself with any one country as an assignment, but nor would any other individual leader. So I just think the concept is fundamentally flawed. Wearing little badges saying I love India doesn't do it. I mean, every country has its equivalent. Everyone says they love their own country.
You're wearing one, though.
And I'm wearing this one, exactly. The national flag. So they lost me there. I mean, I thought of the three brainstormings. Theirs was the one that excited me the most.
Absolutely.
And their campaign just let me down.
Okay, fair enough.
Listen, if Oprah put her shoulder behind investors in India, I'm sure she could make some difference. But it's a little sad that with everything else that we should be able to say, if it's true that India is a great destination, that we need Oprah to sell it. There must be better ideas than having Oprah selling it. I'd rather have Shashi go out.
Oh, thank
And
you.
yeah, no, Shashi, because at least I'm showing confidence in my own country.
Yeah.
By showing confidence in yourself, there is a certain lack of confidence in oneself that you say.
Absolutely.
Because we're not promoting tourism. Like Oprah saying, hey, I went to India, I love it, you go to India, I can understand that. But Oprah saying, you got to invest in it, it's a great country. I'm not sure. I don't really see what they're getting at.
When it started off, I thought, wow, that's interesting. It's almost philosophical. It almost goes with the kind of spiritual understanding as Indians that we have. You love yourself. The world will love you. It's about your own confidence. It's about your own self-esteem. And the person also said it's not an ad. An ad is not just an ad, it's an act.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, it's not going to be a tokenism. It's not going to be about putting a flag in your, no offense meant.
Sure,
you do much more than that. But, it's not going to be, and then to narrow it down to, first of all, a foreigner. I mean, I was glad it wasn't going to be jingoistic, at least in the way they were talking, that we're not just going to be patriotic for the sake of it, but actually believe that there is something worthwhile, that we want to make ourselves proud of who we are.
And I also want you to talk about their whole, they had a water take in the campaign as well.
Well, rebooting India is more than just mere advertising. A branding campaign works when you are able to differentiate the destination. I think differentiation is the key. Now, to my mind, a campaign of this nature works on two different principles. One is, one must be clear that we're trying to focus on investors from across the world. This is essentially a film to appeal to the hearts and minds of global investors. Now, what the BBDO film does is that it looks at the emotional or the intangible aspects. And to that extent, while its emotional connect is very good for a tourism film, for trying to bring in tourists or to bring in the cultural dimension of a destination, it fails miserably as far as global investors are concerned. I'm also not a great believer in having global ambassadors. So to that extent, the film fails miserably.
To watch more, subscribe to youtube.com/ETNowLite.